is Smooth Fuego TV New Star Radio 98.7 FM, and I'm joined here with
Shakka.
Now you're here in my hometown in Birmingham. How does it feel to be in Birmingham?
Do you know what? It feels good, and I'll tell you why it feels good, because like I went to two places. Obviously, like Nando's isn't like a Birmingham oriented place, but I went to the Nando's there. They took care of me. They were nice to me, you know? Like I go to the Nando's in London and yeah, it's cool, but they act as if they've got other things better to do sometimes, and it's a bit weird. And I went to the barbershop, Kings.
Oh, okay.
Dope barbershop. They hooked me up nicely. Okay, shout out to I'm gonna forget his name now, Twitch. Shout out to Twitch for hooking me up. But yeah, man, you guys have been nice. And Birmingham is a nice place to be. So.
That's a bit of a risk of going to a different
barbers. It is. But when you haven't had a cut and you're constantly on stage like every day or every other day, like there's almost no excuse. You have to like sometimes you have to take the risk. You have to bite the bullet. And I call up like a good friend of mine, Andrea from Soul Features, and she recommended. Well, it was actually her brother who recommended a good barbershop for me. So. I'm lucky. I'm lucky this time. I got a second opinion. So.
And the one thing you also have to have while being in Birmingham as well is Caribbean food.
Caribbean food.
We do the best. The best Caribbean food.
Well,
we do the best. There's no question about it.
I love it. Like I love Birmingham. Like you guys are nice. I love Birmingham. Caribbean food is not better than my mom's. I'm sorry.
Obviously.
I'm sorry.
Obviously.
And then there's one more shot, but I can't mention it because obviously. People from Birmingham will come for me and try and look for where I live and all that stuff. But no, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, I definitely love a lot of different aspects of Birmingham, including the Caribbean food. So yeah, it's all good.
Okay, now aside from the food takeaway being in Birmingham, now let's talk about you as an artist. Now, how did you get into being an artist, and describe your style to the listeners who may not have heard of you?
For those who are watching the video and have no idea who I am, I'm Shakka with 2Ks.
2Ks. That's a trademark.
It is, yeah. I was born and raised in London, Notting Hill, the home of Notting Hill Carnival, and I was raised on reggae music by my father, who was previously in a band called Brimstone, and I grew up listening to a wide array, a bunch of different hip hop classics, a bunch of different garage classics, a bunch of different general soul and pop classics. Went into the studio with Incisive when I was about 16, 17 years old. I was always in and out of the studio beforehand with my pops because he was a reggae musician. But this is the first time I started doing my own stuff. And then when I was 19, 20, I put out an EP called Foolishness. I put out a mixtape in 2011 called The Shakka Crown Affair. I put out a selection of covers called the Shakka Pellas, which I shot and put on YouTube in 2012, and in 2013, where we are today, in July, I put out the Tribe EP, and that's pretty much me in my own music up to date. I've collabed with Rich on a song called Blackout that came out at the beginning of 2013, and I was in the studio with the Basement Checks where we recorded this song the year prior, the end of 2012, and that's where we are today in Birmingham Motor Academy performing with the Jacks. So yeah, it's fun. It's been good.
Definitely. Now you're coming from a scene in London which I don't know how to explain it. I don't want to pigeonhole you in a certain genre, but it's kind of like a real acoustic, urban type of live scene which is going in and around Birmingham. As you mentioned, Incisive as well as another one for that. And you're considered kind of the leader of that new brand of artist.
Leader? I don't know. Like,
that you're actually considered for that way, for like the type of live music.
I don't know. I mean, in terms of, I mean, I love live music, and that's kind of my birthplace, and that's what I love doing on stage. But I don't know. Like I'd like to say the sound I'm pushing, where I am right now, is like Bob Marley and Coldplay. Like I say, I was always influenced by the great hip hop heads. So I had Biggie's Life After Death. I had Nas's Illmatic and I Am and Stillmatic as part of the collection albums that I would listen to. And I also had Michael's classic albums and Stevie's and the Visions and all that sort of stuff. And so my foundation was strong in black music. But then as I turned like 16 and 17, I started listening to a wide array of different music, and so I found like a home, or at least a starting point for my musical home, which is Bob Marley and Coldplay. So songs like Sooner or Later, songs like Oh Lady, songs like Just Want to See You, like these are all songs that are testament to that. So yeah, I'd like to say that's where I am sonically.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And speaking of that sonically, when I first found out Shakka's with Basement Jaxx,
Yeah.
the first thing I thought was, huh? how does that work? Because it's a different style to what.
But this is the thing. Like I love Basement Jaxx music since like I knew a lot of their songs beforehand, but Craziest Radio was the album that really spoke to me and said, right, okay, cool, these are serious sounds that are coming from these two producers, sort of thing. And then after I did Shakapella with Vula, Vula showed it to the Jaxx, and the Jaxx were like, what? And so they sent me an email and said, do you want to come to the studio? And I just said yes because I'm a fan, you know, like I love their sound and how we were going to do something together. I didn't care because I knew that they were crazy versatile and they were geniuses in their own production, right? And so it was only right that I just jumped in, not only just to do some stuff with them, but to learn from them as well. So yeah, and we made something pretty cool, which is something I'm quite excited to, well, obviously when they're not show it to the world. But yeah. When people hear it, hopefully they'll still see a healthy balance in the same way that I do.
So has it still got elements of your flavour? Is it completely different from...
Of course, it definitely has elements of my flavour. Like there was, because they write and produce their own stuff, but there was a section in the area where, in the song, where I could just write and do some stuff. So there's me there, as well as the Basement Jaxx with the production and Sonic Foundation. So yeah, but when I heard the song, I was like, right, this is right up my street. Like there was elements that were like reggae elements and dub elements and dance elements, and I was like, cool, it makes sense, you know. So yeah, there's definitely both elements.
Okay. Now coming to the end of 2013, what can we expect to see from you in 2014?
In 2014, hopefully more collaborations. I say hopefully, but I'm always on the laptop creating a bunch of different ideas, as people who follow me on Instagram would see. And so yeah, definitely a bunch more collaborations. I'm producing for another artist who I can't say until the people in his team are like, yeah, cool, we're ready to go.
Or no confidentials.
Yeah, exactly. I'm also working on a new full-length project on my own, as well as producing for a few other artists. Like I'm due to go into, was I in the studio with recently? I was in the studio with George the Poet. I was in the studio with Etta Bond a couple of times, Tony Lacey. I went to the studio again with Rich, and I'd like to do some more stuff, not only with him, but yeah, with some other members of his camp and as much more of other people's camp. So yeah, there's a few people who I am feeling that I would like to go to the studio with. But yeah, when 2014 hits, you'll see some more songs online circulating about. So yeah.
Okay, now we're a community station in Birmingham and we have a lot of up and coming artists, songwriters that listen to the station. I know you're still up and coming in some ways, but you still achieve quite a bit.
Yeah.
So what advice could you give them based on your own experiences?
Just make music. Like, don't think about. For starters, don't think about the business. Just think about making ideas. Just think about opening up whatever system that you have, be it an MPC, be it a loop pedal, be it a laptop or a guitar or a keyboard. Make sure that you're just continuously making ideas and not practicing guitar or practicing keys. Definitely that's important, but at the same time, make songs, because that is what connects to people and that is what allows you to be able to perform on different stages, etc., etc. And then the second thing is understand where you're living. By that I mean know your business. So like if you know you're living in the UK, understand what connects to the people in the UK. So I was lucky enough to have toured with Rich and have toured with Basement Jaxx, so I can see exactly what pops off in different areas and different climates in the UK, and it opened my eyes to so much different styles of music and so much different ways in which you can connect with people, and so that's very, very important. Find a way to travel, find a way to do live shows, find a way to collaborate with as many different people, irrespective of whether or not you think that's what the people may expect you to make. Just make it anyway, because like, genuinely, because you can learn aspects of your craft that you had no idea about yourself. Like I learned that from watching Labyrinth and his interviews and stuff, and he would talk about just working with everyone and anyone and finding out there are so many different musical influences that you can incorporate in your own music. So yeah, those two things I definitely think are paramount. Like continuously make as many songs as possible and learn about where you are. And you will hopefully succeed. Definitely.
Okay, now I don't want to hold you any longer, as I know you're going to prepare for the Basement Jacks tour and everything. But that has been Shakka on Smooth Fuego TV, New Star Radio 98.7 FM. Yo, forget my own.
Yo, I forgot that.
So would you like to tell the New Star Radio listeners and Smooth Fuego TV watchers where they can keep up to date with you? All the social networks, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, everything, iTunes, everything.
Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Facebook, follow me on SoundCloud, follow me on Instagram. All of them are I Am Shakka. So that's facebook.com/I Am Shakka, twitter.com/I Am Shakka, etc. etc. Same thing on YouTube, everywhere else. Google my name, which is Shakka with 2 Ks, and you'll find a list, a myriad of different things that you need to see, including videos of me performing and videos of my infatuation with Earl Grey and pussy in a can. There's a drink.
Oh yeah. I know you.
I know.
You see the adverts?
I haven't seen the adverts, no, but I think my video is better, to be honest. I don't need to see them. Jump on Instagram, you'll understand what I mean. But yeah, Google me, find me on YouTube, and hopefully you'll like what you hear and want to come to my shows and have some fun.